What if the thing that's holding you back isn't fear, but it's the success that you've already achieved? Most people don't get stuck because they're lazy. They get stuck because they were focused. And that focus was actually a good thing. It required discipline. It required saying no. It required to narrowing your world until only the climb is what mattered. You don't reach the top of the mountain by accident. You don't just stumble your way to the top. You don't fall up the mountain. You climb early. You stay late. You tune out distractions. You take trade-offs that feel justified because there's a clear destination in front of you. And for a long time, this works. You gain momentum, you gain competence, and baby, you start winning. But focus has a shadow side. By its very nature, focus excludes. To climb one mountain means that you stop climbing others, not because they don't matter, but because they don't matter right now. Health can wait, relationships can wait, friendships can wait. The interior questions of why I'm even here can wait. And at first, this feels just responsible. But then one day, you reach that place that you were aiming for. And there is something about that place that feels off. The climb doesn't thrill you anymore. The challenge doesn't wake you up and demand things the way that it used to. You once felt excited and like life was daring, and now it just feels normal. You expected the summit to give you something. You thought that when you got there, you would get some clarity and fulfillment and a sense that you had arrived. But instead, you're just standing there, looking at the top of this mountain that you conquered. And this spot right here, this place right here, this is when the quieter questions begin to surface. You start asking yourself things like, what did I give up to get here? The questions show up, and they're not dramatic and shouting. They're usually quiet. They're usually gradual. You start asking things like, when did my body stop feeling strong? When did my relationships become efficient and no longer deep? When did my circle get so small? And when did curiosity get replaced with certainty? None of those losses make you a failure. They just mean that you were really focused. But focus was never meant to be permanent. This is where many people misunderstand daring. They think that daring requires you to go do something grand, a big new business idea, a bold announcement, a dramatic pivot. But real daring isn't loud. Daring often means breaking a ceiling that you didn't realize was there, a ceiling that you actually made from competence, predictability, and control. Sometimes daring means choosing health again, not because it's convenient, but because it costs you your comfort. Sometimes daring is emotional presence, risking being honest when you've learned how to manage the perceptions of the people around you. Sometimes daring is trying something you might not be good at. After years of being respected for knowing exactly what you're doing, you're going to go try something new, something risky. I've met a lot of people who are successful, and at the same time, they're quietly disappointed. They don't say it out loud. They just say things like, I thought I'd feel different by now. That sentence matters. That's an important signal because it tells you something inside them expected growth to continue, not just achievement. At some point, the question shifts. It's no longer how high can I climb? But now, the question shifts to how fully can I live? That question doesn't come with a checklist, and it doesn't offer certainty. It simply invites you to look around, to notice the skills that you picked up over the years unintentionally, the interests that you have that never went away, the problems that stir something inside of you, the things that you look at around you and you say that needs to be fixed. History gives us a picture for this. For centuries, explorers hugged the coastline, familiar waters, visible landmarks, safe progress, until some of them wondered if the horizon actually meant danger. And so they launched out into the deep, not because they had guarantees, but because staying put had stopped asking anything of them. Daring begins again when success is no longer enough to keep you alive inside. You don't need a new identity, and you certainly don't need to burn everything down. You just need the courage to take a step towards what matters, even if it might not work. Sometimes direction really is going to be enough, and sometimes that's how the next journey begins. Hit that subscribe button if you want more videos like this, if you need challenge, encouragement, and a connection to adventure. I'm Adam Funderburg, the owner of High Caliber Coaching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.